Sal Brinton, tell us about your first ever political memory.
Well, I was about 8 years old, and my father's friend was imprisoned by the Red Guards in China simply because he was a journalist trying to report what was going on. So I used to write him postcards. Like, "Dear Uncle Anthony, hope you are well. Just had my birthday. Mummy made me a chocolate cake and I had 8 candles." And I sometimes wonder if those Red Guards were bemused and trying to work out what the code was. But I just wanted to keep in touch with him and make sure that he remembered that we had not forgotten him.
And what prompted you to write to him in the first place?
Well, he was a family friend, and I knew that there were problems in China. We lived in Hong Kong when I was small. So actually it was about making a statement as well, not that I perhaps understood that at the time, but it was certainly important to make sure that the Chinese knew that there were people in England who had not forgotten him.
So from that very young age, what did you go on to do politically next?
And I started arguing with my parents, like I suspect a lot of other Lib Dems. I was passionately against capital punishment. And that and Europe are what brought me into the party 40 years ago this year. I joined the party in the run-up to the referendum. I was also absolutely passionate about the anti-apartheid movement and the role that the young Liberals had in that, and used to go on demonstrations and things too. So a radical young Liberal.
Have you at some point in your life, like the rest of us, been a mindless activist?
The moment I joined, I was asked to deliver leaflets. I'm sure many of you were as well. I've delivered hundreds of thousands of leaflets, including with my children in prams and buggies. I've been bitten by dogs. Tim has even been bitten by a cat.
Tim?
My husband. So we have been out there with the best of them. But I've also been a councillor. I was chair of education on Cambridgeshire and then leader of the opposition when we lost control. I've stood in no-hope seats, and most recently I stood in Watford, which I narrowly missed winning twice. And now I'm a backbencher in the House of Lords.
Sal, tell us why you want to be president.
Do you know, the last 4 years have been really tough. We've achieved some good things in government, but the cost to the party has been very hard to take. Too many hard-working councillors have lost their seats, and that needs to change. We're the party of grassroots campaigning, and what I really want us to do is to use that as our revival. I've been in the party long enough to see us go down before, and we've always come back up. I want ALDC to have a key role in making that happen.
Tell us, one question that some people have for you, Sal, is will you be prepared to stand up to the leadership?
I have a reputation for being forthright. But actually, many people don't know that outside the party, I was chair and deputy chair of 2 big organisations where I had to tell failing leaders when it was time for them to move on, but perhaps more importantly, how to hold the organisations together and to bring them out of the problem period through change and into renewal. I think that's what I can offer the party.
What will you do if you get elected as president?
This is a very short interview, so I can't go through it all here. And if you go and look at my website, I've got a 10-point action plan for the first 6 months. Well, firstly, we've got to fight the general election. Next, we've absolutely got to look at the Constitution and our rules. We've had too many disciplinary cases that have shown that the processes just are not fit for purpose. But I also think we can make our committees more transparent and accountable. And I've been on both FPC and FCC in the past, so I understand how they work. I want to make sure that the member is absolutely at the heart of everything we do.